As an entrepreneur who's working from home, the setting that we work from is an incredible opportunity to express our brand. It's an incredible opportunity to not only show up in our content, so like if we're recording video content or taking selfies or Instagram stories in our space that we're working, it is also an expression of identity. It's an expression of our taste, of our personality. It reminds us who the heck we are when we create an intentional working space. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes into my home office, share a little bit about the decisions that I made. So maybe if you're redesigning or thinking about upgrading your physical space, it might give you some ideas. Hello, welcome. I'm so thrilled that you are here and obliging my branding geekiness. My name is Kaye Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist. I help entrepreneurs get the genius out of their heads and into the world so that they can serve the people that they're meant to serve. If you haven't yet, definitely hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and the little bell will give you a notification whenever I publish new videos, which is most weekly about branding, entrepreneurship, and psychology. Let's go behind the scenes and take a look at my home office. So the first thing that I made a decision about was the wall color. It obviously had to be on brand. So I chose colors that fit my color palette that you see on my Instagram feed or on my homepage of my website, for example. It's not an exact match. I didn't go that far, but I definitely knew that I wanted it to be in the cool color range, and I wanted essentially different sets. So if you notice, if you're looking from my computer, like from my webcam, or if I bring my big camera down to do some more professional video recording down there, you see that dark charcoal gray wall behind me. But then if you're looking over at where I have the yellow chair and the other corner set up, I essentially have two different looks in the same home office that I can record video content in. This was intentional. Definitely want to get the most amount of use from the space possible. Everything in here was intentional. First of all, notice that the desk is in the middle of the office. First of all, this just looks good for interior decorating. But second, it creates a distance between me and the shelf and the wall behind me when I'm recording video there. So it creates depth in the background. And then of course, again, all of the selections made for the bookshelf behind me were intentional to be on brand, an expression of my best self showing up for anybody who cares to dissect each of the little pieces. So I have a Northern Lights inspired self-made abstract art piece at the top there. We have accents of copper. Of course, we have books about branding, about psychology, about symbols, astrology, interesting things like that. I have the crystal, which I love just for how freaking magical it looks. All of these things were built and placed there with the intent that if people are like watching me on a course or on a video and their mind starts to wander, like mine often does when I'm watching video content, there's like little Easter eggs or treasure hunts that they can go on with their eyes and see different parts of my personality expressed through the props. So think about that as you're building your office or building your video sets. Literally every element should be intentional. It should tell a little piece of your story. And then opposite of my desk, I actually had two acoustic panels that were custom painted to the exact color that is on my walls, so it would blend in as much as possible. I think it has a little bit of an abstract art kind of feel, but the purpose of them is actually much more practical. It is used to reduce echo. So when this was just an empty office, the sound would ricochet off of all of the walls and the quality wasn't that great. So I added the acoustic panels, and then I made sure also to add the fabric curtains on the windows so that as much sound as possible would be absorbed when I'm like recording interviews or podcasts, that kind of thing. And if I'm doing something that's really, really important to have the best top of the line sound, I will even bring in extra like linens and pillows and stack them up in the corners out of the view of the camera so that I get more of that sound absorbing happening so that we don't have any echo or like twang in the recording. I have the view, like I said, behind my desk. So when I'm just talking to the webcam that's in my desktop, or sometimes I bring my big camera down there and have that view. But then I also have a completely separate setup over here with the yellow chair, which is my brand accent color. The chair has been the subject of many spills thanks to, toddler land over at the Putnam Casa. So it's seen better days, but thankfully the stains that are on that chair are usually underneath my butt, but you get to see them here in this video. And then I have, again, some really meaningful art behind me. So it's on brand with the color scheme and the style of the art. I have a painting of Ama Dublin, which is in the Himalayas. It's my favorite mountain. It's like the prettiest mountain ever. We got the painting when we hiked to Everest Base Camp. And then next to it was a gift from my sister-in-law, which is a little definition, which again, it fits my sage archetype beautifully. And it is a word in Finnish. I'm 100% Finnish. Although my family's been in the United States for generations and generations, I don't speak any Finnish except for little pieces of words and little pieces of the culture. And one of them is this idea of sisu, of perseverance, of grit. So I love having this piece of art here as well. Over here, I have a giant oversized easel that has a bunch of stickers. This was from my latest launch of my course, The Brand Advantage, and each of the stickers is a celebration of one of the incredible humans that joined me in that course, in that program. And it's actually since completed. It is a 30-day live course and it's now over, but I just still love to redirect my attention and my celebration towards these people that I get to serve and impact. So I kept this up. Eventually it'll probably get replaced with some checklist or diagram or crazy brainstorm, but for the moment it is still in celebration and in gratitude for all of those incredible humans that joined that course. I think that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this look behind the scenes of my home office and some of the thought process that went on as I was choosing these different elements of my space. Because like I said in the beginning, it's such an incredible opportunity to tell pieces of your story. I promise you, I have heard from like people in my live challenges where I recorded content there in my home office that they were like spending the videos dissecting all of the different pieces of books and art and elements that are on the shelf behind me. So people absolutely do this. Some of it is subconscious. Some of it is just our subconscious brain recognizing symbols in the greater context of what you're sharing. But some of it's very conscious and people are just noticing pieces about you. So use the places where you work as a reminder for yourself of who you are, and then as an opportunity to communicate more of what your brand stands for. I hope you enjoyed this. See you guys next time.